Despite being in a relationship, you feel that something doesn't feel right, informs you that something is off with her, quite taciturn, while posing inquiries regarding her history, or incidentally bring up other names of males in a typical discussion. If you're seeking a reliable connection, you could be slipping into a trap. However, I'll assist you. Stay away from that today to find out if she has had several sexual partners. Simply keep an eye out for these 10 indicators. We'll provide you with specific hints regarding how she lived her past, and kept in mind that it's not about finding the perfect partner, while judging who won't manipulate your emotions and will make a commitment to a long-term partnership. Thus, be with us until the conclusion of the video and determine its value. Establishing a connection with a woman, or if you should just break off contact as soon as potential number 1, she feels really at ease with close physical contact. Our first private moment together was, yes, you are fantastic, but it's more worrisome. Thought it would be fantastic, but it end up being surprisingly intense. She could feel quite confident and comfortable using physical intimacy that would suggest she has. Having a lot of prior experience, whether you're perplexed. Allow me to clarify for you. Assuming the initiative if she does like a pro, which might indicate that she has experience that she doesn't avoid kisses and embraces, but is amenable to more sophisticated or even odd movements that are acceptable. Everything you suggest is based on your intuition, indicates that she has a great deal of experience. Physical closeness could be an indication that you shouldn't disregard how you shouldn't make snap judgments. She may be more expressive by nature and gifted in bed, thus you ought to pay as well. Observing more indicators to be sure she is the ideal companion for, she avoids becoming upset around you. Number 2, intimacy with a man, regardless of how he is emotionally strong, weak, and will look for his spouse to establish a spiritual connection to fill that gap. And emotional assistants are crucial in a connection since they assist couples in obtaining together during difficult times. But what if your significant other doesn't reply to your need for a woman's emotional connection, who has had several sexual partners? Typically demonstrates this behavior and steers clear of emotional intimacy. How do you determine whether she is indeed avoiding emotional connection? If you want to establish a profound dialogue, and she appears to favor light conversation, swiftly shifts the topic, or refrains from discussing her emotions, maybe steering clear of emotional contact if you believe that your hard work is in vain. Perhaps it's time to stop attempting, but it may also be an indication implies she is more reticent or possesses experienced mental distress in the past. Perhaps you should wait a little while before making in her third decision. She provides ambiguous or unreliable reports are a warning indication that she may have experienced several sexual inconsistencies with previous partners in her tales following months spent together. If you're still not certain that she has openly disclosed to you her past, and her disclosures are ambiguous or inconsistent, which could indicate she might give you an example. Tale one day and another day, these discrepancies can then include listing the names of multiple guys, discussing a long-term former partner, and then claiming that she never had a significant friendship, or explaining a pastime revealed to a former partner that does not correspond with her present interests. It's crucial to keep in mind that not everyone like revisiting the past connections, that some people may find more appealing to concentrate on the here and now with you, because if her ambiguity or contradictions make your feeling uneasy or suspicious. Worth carefully examining what you can do in this circumstance. Have a significant discussion on this subject with her, and request that she explain her past. If she is sincere about wanting a relationship, her response will be greater, more fulfilling than what she says if she opens up truthfully and covers the gaps with clarity, and warmth are positive indicators. However, if she persists in offering an inconsistent narrative, which could suggest that you ought to leave her before she toys with you, you're reminded to never make such a hasty decision. Decision-making partnerships need a mix of time and open communication. Allow ample time and observe. If it appears that her tale is becoming more unclear over time, or if she begins revealing her backstory in greater detail following gaining your trust. Number 4. She plans are often changed at the last minute. She cancelled her plans at the last minute. More frequently at the last minute, these variations can be more annoying. Have you ever been more than the stock market? Wondered why this kept occurring? It makes sense if plans are cancelled once for clear reasons or twice, but if this keeps happening, there's undoubtedly a problem as well. Observe that she consistently gives ambiguous the causes of these cancellations. Perhaps there was a last-minute meeting. However, unexpected encounters don't occur that often, frequently, or she may bring up a friend. Arriving in town but being quite cautious not to disclose this friend's identity. She shouldn't play with you like that. She is obviously prioritizing this, something outside the relationship with you, which is an indication that can't be disregarded. It's crucial to keep in mind that each of us leads a hectic life and may arise. Surprisingly, she can have a demanding employment with erratic hours, or a close friend who is going through a difficult period. Someone requires her assistance. But if these cancellations at the last minute are becoming habit, and you feel left out or irrelevant, it's worthwhile to have a once more. Communication is essential. Here, gently approach her and inquire as to why. She frequently cancels plans. Emphasize that this is not acceptable to you and work things out together. 5th, she constantly makes comparisons between you and to former partners. A lady going into a relationship for the first time will never judge yourself by others. Since you are all that she knows, though, if she's had several former partners, it's probable that she'll make comparisons between you and her ex-boyfriends, eventually willingly or unintentionally. How can you tell if she likens you to her ex-boyfriends? May say that the steak you prepared is better at home than it was before. Love spending time with her ex, or discuss how your ex enjoyed a certain pastime that you never implied in a dispute, that she may contrast your shortcomings with hers. These parallels, regardless of your ex-boyfriend, how inconspicuous it is to feel insecure. What matters is that these people, comparisons, are not your fault. Who has had time with several? In the end, partners will compare them at. You must eventually inform her that she is incapable of playing with you in that way. If she frequently makes comparisons between you and men, just break up with one other and make you are obviously not merely another. Guy number 6 is a very private person. Regarding using your partner's phone abruptly turns into her most valuable. When she's in your presence, she be sure to rapidly keep it face down, alters the screen, or turns incredibly covert when taking calls in your. The existence of this behavior may raise suspicions and cause you to question whether she's hiding something that justifies keeping her phone distance from you. Can change. She may continue to communicate with some of her former partners, or simply want to make sure you are unable to view her message history or pictures from her history when you request. She may become dramatic if you notice her phone. Perceiving it as a lack of confidence in your involvement in this could place you in a challenging situation where you are unable to ask. Before jumping, she stopped talking about her phone. To a decision, you ought to think about, there may always be an alternative tale, or there is a rational explanation for this. Everyone deserves some people and some privacy. May might be extremely protective of their personal space. Perhaps she's working. Discussions she is unwilling to talk about, or cherish her alone time for browsing. But if the partnership is powerful enough, the moment will arrive when the pair doesn't have to conceal their phones from one another, which provides it time to observe whether she evolves. If not, you will be entirely justified in terminating the partnership after verifying her mobile activities. Number 7. She is extremely aware of the way she looks besides being evasive she can be extremely aware of both over the phone. She can change the way she looks and how you look. Spend a lot of time taking care of herself, continuously examining her reflection, or often giving praise to others' looks while being proud of her own. While being concerned with appearance is healthy, but it may also indicate that she has accompanied other dashing men in the past, and present thinks that concentrating the outward appearance is in certain ways pertinent to her history of sexual activity, being excessively preoccupied with her appearance, or other people may say that she is more concerned about appearances than what's within in severe situations. She might even contrast her physical attributes, likeness to that of a former partner, or any. She sees a stranger on her phone if instead of discussing things with you that demand the intensity of her emotions. She invests time evaluating herself to other people. You have the right to inquire as to why, even following a serious conversation about this subject. If she doesn't stop these shallow discussions, demonstrate that it gives you a sense of insecurity, and she ought to cease. Otherwise, it would be preferable. Before it's too late to split ways, make a choice, but keep in mind that some people are more image-conscious by nature. Aware, thus, even if she behaves in this manner, however, you can clearly see her past, just indicates that it's a feature of her personality, and she must embrace her identity. Number 8. She has a deficiency in desire to talk about sexual health. It can be uncomfortable to discuss sex, but it's a really significant subject that particularly in relation to sexual good health, is essential for any couple. Talk about this, since it guarantees that both are in agreement with the idea of safe sexual exercises and establishes an area for open discussing their sexual desires, and wants to know what would happen if she is never eager to talk about sexual health. This can indicate that she is concealing something, leaving you to speculate on what it might be. Her lack of enthusiasm for talking about her past may have an impact on her sexual health. Having several partners implies that she might be more likely to engage in sexual spread illnesses, and the reality that she might send them to you as well may cause her to wish to keep quiet about the subject. Another element is that she might not wish to face criticism for her prior sexual background or the use of birth control techniques she could be. Regardless, sexual health needs to be talked about at all costs for the sake of both sides, and to obtain more potent hints regarding whether she's had several partners prior to or not. Thus, take a straightforward manner and make it apparent that these subjects must be talked about, or the partnership won't last. If she becomes frightened, yet begins responding to your inquiries, that might be encouraging. But if she gets defensive and begins to providing evasive responses, she's turning into more challenging, making it simpler for you to make the difficult choice to part ways with her. On number 9, she doesn't introduce you. To meet your partner's pals. Making friends is a major step because it's a chance to establish a connection with significant individuals in her life and be presented with her social network. But what if your significant other appears hesitant or declines to introduce you to her pals? She might change or continue to make excuses. The topic each time you bring up the subject, this is a clear indication that she might be concealing something significant. When a woman exhibits a sincere connection with you, she would like to present you to everyone only after there is a chance of something more serious occurring. She attempts to avoid presenting. She might be worried that a friend of yours, a buddy who is aware of her past, may revelation details regarding her sexual history or the potentiality that she possessed a connection with one of those pals previously and didn't want to bring up that to you. So even when you inquire about her pals, she shifts the topic or playfully ends the conversation. This may cause you to get perplexed, or even you feel foolish, since it appears that she doesn't even think you're good enough to never stop talking about her buddies. Justification for concealing friends you can't allow, that possibly pass through straight chatting with a few of her pals, can help you gain a deeper comprehension of who she is, or simply speaking with her, as though their discussion might determine whether the partnership can last or must finish at number 10. Priorities shift, and you are left out when we start dating our significant other. Turns becoming one of the most significant individuals, they become a priority to us in this way. Psychology, so if she forces you to feel left out, or whether her priorities do not involve you, and you remain pushed to the very bottom of the list, it just indicates that she still has other people who are grabbing her interest. Despite the fact that occasionally it could appear that there are good reasons why she priorities, things could not always be that way. For instance, she might begin using all of her leisure time spent ignoring new acquaintances, the arrangements you two came up with, or putting your favorite pastimes first excluded. This will help you determine if are her priorities genuine, or are you just not a top priority for her right now. Time. If you've observed numerous other indicators in addition to this, then it is evident that she had several sexual relationships. Remember that it's not about passing judgment before her, but your capacity to acknowledge that or not if you feel that this is too much. It's time for you to say goodbye. Never make a snap decision if you observe a few indications that there might always be an additional explanation. I suggest providing the relationship. Occasionally find out more about, and check to see whether she can be a good companion for you simultaneously or not. Never accept anything less than what you deserve. If you want a long-term relationship, friendship with a more profound bond, never give someone a chance who is just having fun. Keep in mind that you are a man of excellent value, and in conclusion, we have seen the being with someone in which your gut tells you that something is off. Can be upsetting, as this guide illustrates indicators that could show whether your relationship has had several sexual partners throughout the previous, assisting in resolving your questions and make knowledgeable choices regarding the continuation of the partnership. When combined, these indicators offer a thorough analysis of her actions and the possible effect on your relationship. First and foremost, pay attention to if she seems excessively at ease with physical closeness right away, which could also be a sign of prior experience. If she steers clear of emotional intimacy, or if rumors about her past are ambiguous or contradictory, these attitudes could indicate that she is concealing significant events in her life. Another last-minute signs are common. Plan modifications, particularly if the justifications are ambiguous, suggesting that you might not be priority if she frequently contrasts you with ex-partners, as this may damage your self-worth and demonstrate that she's still connected to past partnerships as well. Use her phone to observe her actions. If she conceals the gadget or refrains from utilizing it she might be hiding your presence, something overly worried about her. Your look or appearance can also be indicative of a shallow attention shaped by historical relationships is another important factor. Her lack of enthusiasm for talking about sexual health, which could indicate that she's concealing her illnesses or personal information. Moreover, sexual history does not disregard if she doesn't introduce you to her pals, because this could indicate that there are elements of her history that she would prefer not to. Finally, let us know if her priorities alter, and you discover that you're being left out, would suggest that she is still held by others. Pay attention to all of these indicators at the end. Ought to be carefully thought out, and without making snap decisions in relationships are intricate and call for candor and openness. Communication. If a large number of these indicators are, it's crucial to have frank present talks to have a deeper understanding of her. Most crucially, past and intentions. Make sure you don't accept anything less than you should look for a mate who is devoted to a genuine partnership and respects your sentiments and never forgets that you are a valuable individual and deserve to be respected and valued by someone. That I genuinely hope that this communication has been useful to you, and I appreciate you viewing. Your commitment throughout the entire video. To look for a real and healthy. If you like the relationship, it's admirable. Remember to like the content. Watch the video and follow our channel to further helpful advice. Please leave a comment with the expression, "I deserve the best," that you have reached this point and are devoted to creating authentic and enduring connections. I appreciate your pay attention and we'll see you in our upcoming video.